What is stepped up basis? That's a term you'll be familiar with if you're an estate planning lawyer or if you are an accountant. But for folks who are not either, let me explain what stepped up basis is. There's a provision or provisions in the Internal Revenue Code that are favorable or advantageous when you inherit property from someone who has passed away. So I need to give you examples to explain how this stepped up or adjusted basis works to make it clearer. So let's say your mom had stock that she bought way back when and it cost her $10,000. When she passed away, you inherit from her that stock, and that stock is now worth $100,000. Upon her death, that stock that you inherited gets a new basis, an adjustment in basis. It went from $10,000 to $100,000. So when you sell this stock, let's say you want to sell it and you want to have $100,000 as opposed to the stock worth that. You sell the stock after you've inherited it and you pay zero in capital gains tax, which is an income tax. Zero taxes on it. So now you have $100,000. What if instead your mom had given you that stock during her lifetime and you, same facts, she bought it, it's worth her basis in it, her cost, her basis is $10,000. When she gives it to you, it's worth $100,000 and that's what you sell it for. Now the situation is much different because that gift to you has what's called a carryover basis, not stepped up. So carryover basis means when you sell that stock for $100,000, you have a capital gain of $90,000 because the basis didn't get adjusted. So you pay capital gains on $90,000. So the important thing to understand is that it is advantageous to inherit property because of the stepped up or adjusted basis so that you don't have to pay capital gains if you thereafter sell this property, at least not from the value of when you received it. I often see people doing their own estate planning and I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to avoid probate. So here's an example. Let's say mom wants you to receive her house or some piece of real property. And most people understand that unless you do some estate planning, if you're going to inherit real property, there's going to be a probate. Kind of as an aside, there's something called a transfer on death deed that will avoid probate, but that's another subject. All right, so what mom does, because she wants to avoid probate when upon her death, is that she does a quick claim deed to you of her house or of her, investment real estate or the whatever it may be. The problem with that is that now you've received what's called a carryover basis. She might have bought that property 30, 40 years ago for nothing. And now you own it and you want to sell it. But guess what? When you sell it, and it could be after mom's death or whatever, you waited to sell it until mom died. When you sell it, you're going to face huge capital gains tax because it didn't get an adjusted basis because it was a lifetime transfer from her to you. Lawyers call it an inter vivos transfer. That means lifetime, which means it got a carryover basis, not a stepped up in basis. So in order to avoid a probate or seeing a lawyer, because that costs money, you're going to end up paying thousands and thousands of dollars to the IRS in capital gains tax. So before anybody in a family does any type of transfer like this to avoid probate, please see an estate planning and elder law attorney.